Hey folks, welcome to Black Gumbo. Man, it's hot. I've been saying it for about a month now, but the garden's really coming to a stop, at least the spring garden. So let's take a very quick tour of what's going on out there. And basically this will shut down our garden until I can show you some summer progress on the cowpeas. So let's go take a look. Well, as the summer wears on and really gets going in earnest, we're having 95-degree days, and some days it's getting up to 98. In a couple months, we're going to be tired of having 101, 102-degree days, and it's going to be just really hot. Nothing really grows well except for a narrow range of crops, and so that's what we're planting. I like cowpeas. They're a good cover crop, and I don't have to work outside during the summer when the cowpeas are growing. Tomatoes in containers are virtually done except for my Romas. Middle bed's got perpetual spinach and chard in there. That should give me another month or two. That perpetual spinach is said to last through the heat of the summer. Well, we'll see. Those tomatoes over there are coming up soon, as soon as I get another crop off of them. And we're going to put in cowpeas. Of the tomato plants doing well in containers and the ones that are partially shaded during the day, like these Romas, I get a lot of Roma tomatoes off of these. You can see I've got some down here. One that the birds and bugs, that's a cardinal beak right there. Cardinal poke. Put that in my compost. But of the plants that are doing well, the Romas do really well in containers, and they continue to produce right now. And I'm pleased with that. Watermelon. We've got a couple of watermelon vines coming up now that we finally had them come up. We've thinned them now. We've got 4 in here. I'm going to wait and see which 4 do the best. And we're going to thin it down to 2. I'm thinking this one and this one are going to be our watermelon plants. Huh? What is it? Haven't had a ginger update in a while, but man, it's going crazy. It's about 3 or 4 feet tall. About 3 feet tall. This is my ginger from Baker Creek. And these were tissue cultures, and they're not growing quite as fast. I mean, they're not but twice as big as they were when I planted them. While the ones I planted from roots are strong, and I haven't dug down in here. I'm not going to until it's time to harvest. But I mean, they're going. These are strong, sturdy stalks of ginger here. So that's the way to go if you can find a source of roots for starting ginger. I would go that way rather than a tissue culture. Figs are doing well. Got to water every day. You can see some of them are drooping. I'm going to up pot some of these figs today, some of my smaller figs, because they need it. They need the stability of a larger pot. There's these small pots are losing moisture every day, and I got to keep on top of them. That's just stressful to fluctuate so heavily. I'm getting lots and lots of habaneros. And this year I'm going to use these habaneros to make some sauce. One over here is starting to ripen up, so I know that these are going to be orange habaneros, and I'll let them go ahead and ripen before I harvest them, although some people eat them when they're green. That's a pretty good pepper plant right there. Here's an interesting thing. Most people would pull this weed up, and it is a volunteer, but this weed is actually purslane, and purslane is one of the is a superfood. In the United States, this is one of the plants you don't find very often, but all the rest of the world, you find this in markets everywhere. It's a semi-succulent. You can tell it's purslane because it's got some reddish stems, and it's got tiny little flowers on it when it blossoms. Let's wait for the helicopter. Here's another little bit of purslane. You can tell this has that reddish stem, and it's a semi-succulent. Now this has been a little chewed up by the weed eater, but I let it grow here, and I'm thinking of using a little bit of this in my juicing, since it is a very good food. It's got some exceptional health. As ratty as this plant gets, it still keeps on producing flowers. This is German chamomile. And it's a ratty looking plant. Look at that, the heat's really doing a number on it down in here. It's all dying off. But these stems are nice and succulent, and the root system in that pot is doing really good. I'm protecting the pot from the heat. It's a black pot, But I put it in this cloth pot because the cloth pot is white. And that reflects some of the sunlight, keeps this plant alive. And I have had a great harvest of chamomile from that plant this year. Summer squash is still going well, setting fruit before the borers and the bugs get hold of it. My summer crop right here, cowpeas, are coming up. These will make it through the summer quite well. They thrive in the summer heat. I've got some over there in my former beet bed as well. And I will replace my entire jungle over there, tomato jungle, with cowpeas as well. Now, the birds have discovered my tomatoes over there, and once the birds discover the tomatoes, you're pretty much not going to get any more out of there, at least around here. And I've tried all of the bird repellents, the tapes, the decoys. This is Wilson, the one-eyed owl. He's had birds sit on top of his head before. So we're pretty much going to lose all of our tomatoes. As you can see, the birds find them, tear them up pretty well. Only the ones like this dude down here hidden will be harvested. The ones that are up in the open and obvious area where the birds can see them, those will be eaten. So I'm hoping maybe some of these down in here will produce and come to ripeness, at least where I can pick them. But yeah, it's just a matter of time. Couple of weeks before we're tearing these out and putting cowpeas in. As you see here, we've got new sprouts coming up in the middle. So this stuff's supposed to grow, as the name says, perpetually. We'll see how it handles the summer. I'm impressed with this stuff. I'm really impressed. This is a good green. I mean, look at that. That's a good green. Alright, well, thanks for joining me. That was a very brief update. I'm going to have some videos coming up on how I use my props, how I do juicing, how I cook with some of my food. And then throughout the heat of the summer, while we're waiting on cowpeas, there's not going to be a lot going on in the garden. And so my channel is going to feature some cooking, some recipes, some things that I like to do. We're going to continue making adventure videos with Samuel and going on critter roundups and things like that. So if you're not into gardening, that's fine. We hope to see you when we start pulling up some cowpeas. Otherwise, stick with us. We like to cook. We like to enjoy one another. We like to do things in the kitchen. We like to enjoy good food. Thanks for joining us. So glad you came to Black Gumbo. Please subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and share us with your friends. We'd be grateful. Take care.